Hello, UCD American Football. Thank you so much for joining us for this rebroadcast of UCD Flag Football at the Claddagh League Week 2 games between the Belfast Trojans and the Belfast Knights. I want to first apologize to all those who attempted to tune in on our live stream back on Saturday. We were unable to get the camera working. However, games were captured and now presented to you unedited is the UCD Belfast Trojans, followed immediately by UCD versus the Belfast Knights. Let's get this action started, shall we? Toss, as UCD's captains are out to meet the Belfast Trojans captains Helen Smith, that's number 49, and Emer Corrigan, number 5 for the Trojans. This is UCD's third game in the round-robin style tournament between the 8-team Claddagh League, and this week 2 is from Newton Hamilton in County Armagh, Northern Ireland. Each team will have 2 timeouts to begin, as the teams now get set to see who gets to start the game with the ball. There's no kickoffs and no kicking in general. And the Trojans will start with the ball. Trojans are on camera side of the field. UCD is on the opposite side. So Trojans will begin today's contest with the ball. We'll see what the plan is for the team from Belfast. They're wearing green with white numbers and looks like non-uniform flags. You'll see that is rather frequent throughout the courses of today's game. Our artificial intelligence powered camera will capture the action for us.
It works.
UCD finished the first week of action at 2-1, losing only to the South Dublin Panthers. Grace Mejia has her hand up. She's the declared blitzer. It's a bunch formation. It's going to be a handoff inside of the 5. Get a couple of yards on the run by Sophie Irvine. We are underway. Let's have some fun. Second down, have to get to the halfway line, which is denoted by the orange cones at midfield. It did rain throughout the day on Saturday. Mejia had to back up a step. It's yet another, and this one's a bungled snap. Monique Heasley was the first person to receive the ball. The first person to receive the ball under the rules must do something with it, whether that's pass it backward or pass it forward. You're not allowed to just run on a direct snap. The down play goes nowhere, and that third down snap also goes nowhere for Smith. Smith began playing flag in 2017-2018 with the Ulster University Elks. Played in a mixed gender league prior to joining the Trojans. And this is another snap just like it was on first down. Another short frame formation. And gotta pull the flag in order to get it there, or have someone step out of bounds. It looked like prior to Blessed Fonko getting the pull, Trojans turned the ball over on downs by stepping out of bounds on 4th. So out comes UCD's offense for their first trip with the ball. Both teams have 2 timeouts to start the half. It is 20 minutes running clock for both halves. If any team is up by 30 points or more at the referee's discretion, that's the one in the white hat, walking away from the ball backwards now. As here's Kaylee Veal to stand over to snap the ball back to Sam Smith. So if any team is up by 30, the referee has the discretion to start with a running clock, regardless of stoppages. As Veal gets the first pass, short gain for the tackle by Abby Colhoun. Colhoun started playing flag in 2022 for the mixed gender team of the Northwest Vipers, who were also part of this weekend's games. 2 receivers left. Blessed Funko spread wide out to the right, the only one there. As it's a short motion across the middle, and Shore unable to corral it, incomplete. Colhoun once again breaking it up. Colhoun lists herself as 1/4 of the Dairy Girls on the team. Of course, likely named after the popular TV series Dairy Girls. She's one of 4 from the county. And it looks like Heather Shore tossing the play sheet back to the sideline, perhaps getting the correct one on her wrist. 3rd down from about the 11. Smith will roll to her right. Underneath throw to Funko, and unable to complete the pass, incomplete. Setting up a 4th down call.
Picture here, girls! Ball down!
Sophie Irvine, the one bouncing in the middle of the Trojans' defense. As it looks like she's going to be the one who's the declared rusher. UCD taking their time to get this play in. Got to get to the halfway line. Rain continues to fall in Newton Hamilton. Smith has the ball. He's going to roll out looking for Shore. Broken up, incomplete. Irvine breaks it up, and both teams exchange turnovers on downs to start the action.
Good job, defense. Good job.
Scoreless game in the first 2 drives. Both teams get to use one of their timeouts. As Helen Smith returns to the field. She was the captain of the Irish national team at the European Championships in 2023, and then the World Championships the following year. Smith stands in the end zone, ready to receive the snap. Motion from the right. They're going to hand it off once again. Irvine did not get around the flagpole. It's a technical loss by Heather Shore. UCD sets their defense, and the white-hatted official needs to tie his right shoe. Safety first, everybody, always. And because he's the referee, we're going to have to wait for him to finish tying his shoe before something happens. Not sure what happened with his shoe, but clearly it was problematic enough for over a 1-minute delay. Smith stands ready following the 1st down loss. She'll drop back to throw this time. Mejia on the rush. This pass goes underneath. It's going to be bobbled and caught. Ashley Craig brings it down. Her 2nd year playing flag football. She played 12 years of netball. For those uninitiated, netball resembles basketball, but it's not a perfect comparison because there's no backboard. Hence the reason it's called netball. All there is a rim with a net. There's no backboard. Looks like they've granted the Trojans the 1st down. One person close to the snapper. They tried this before. They're going to do this pitch play again. It's Smith. She can run. And Smith gets around a couple of players. Couldn't get around Shore. As it's yet another pitch by Heasley. Short gain brings up 2nd down. As the receiver wide out is Ashley Craig. Irvine is to the far right. Irvine comes in motion. Now it's 2 around the snapper with a direct back to Smith. And it's off the hands, incomplete. Wanted Craig, could not get it to her. 3rd down. Must get a score or a defensive penalty for the drive to keep going. As Heasley looks like she's lining up offside. Referees don't do anything about it. And Heasley able to corral the throw. Mejia, her opposite 99, stops it. Mejia, a native of Detroit, Michigan. She's a 3rd-year politics and international relations student. 4th down, must get to the goal line. Smith stands ready with 2 receivers to her left and 1 to her right. Snap comes, looking left all the way. Back corner of the end zone. Blanco with a breakup. And that forces yet another turnover on downs as the Trojans go 0 for 2 to start the game. Flag football is a high-scoring affair. It is offensive consistency that tends to be what wins games, as well as efficiency. As staying on the field is going to be Evelyn Acton, number 43, getting an offensive play sheet. Acton, this is her first year playing flag football. She's from the Philadelphia area, and as a result, you might expect that she was particularly happy with the results of the most recent National Football League season. UCD has 2 receivers to the left, motion right to the right. Underneath to Emily Houston, gets through, avoided the 1 flagpole, could not get away from Smith. The completed pass sets up a 2nd and short, got to get to the halfway line. Smith and Kate Furlong split quarterbacking duties last weekend for UCD. Smith, despite a win in the opening contest, had some difficulty controlling the ball, giving up a couple of interceptions. And as a result, UCD made a change and went to Furlong for the 2nd game and 3rd game to start, turning back to Smith toward the end of that 3rd game against the South Dublin Panthers. Smith's got a high snap. Looking for anybody, got Houston through her hands, incomplete. Third and short, got to get to the halfway line. Belfast lining up close to that 7 yards away that the blitzer must stay back on. All receivers to the right. Smith lining up, looking for Houston, incomplete. Just overshot her receiver. 4th down and got to get to that halfway line. Because of the pre-recorded nature of this game, immediately following the conclusion of this, we will move straight to the Belfast Knights contest that UCD played after. Acton gets back on side.
Don't take the cheese, defense.
As there are now 2 declared rushers. Smith rolls in, going after Smith, and Houston hauls it in. 4th down conversion. UCD crosses the halfway line for the first time today.
Let's go, D!
1st and goal. On the 25-yard playing surface. Or the 50-yard playing surface. It's 25 at the halfway line. High snap. Smith eventually holds onto it. Needs to release it. Gets it back to Veal. And the flagpole comes on a short gain. Abby Colhoun, the rainbow flags on her hips. On the tackle. 2nd and goal. Cloud cover throughout the day today in County Armagh, with rain intermittent throughout the contests. Smith, balancing on her left leg, will receive this pass. And she'll throw toward the end zone, looking for Houston. Had it open. Colhoun breaks it up. Houston was wide open. Pass did not arrive on time.
And again, defense!
3rd and goal. We'll see what UCD comes up with here on this play call. from the referee's whistle to the start of play, it is a 20-second play clock. UCD spending a lot of time talking about what they're going to do. As Acton lines up at center, everybody stays true, and that snap goes awry. Sets up a 4th down. So all that discussion ends up going for a botched snap. Now UCD must score for the drive to be successful. They'll send 2 to the left and Bonko slot to the right. And now motion. Bonko goes to the left. Smith takes the snap. Going for Veal underneath. Got it good. And the flagpole just before the goal line. Turnover on downs. As that's both teams now going 0 for 2 to start the game today. A good tackle from Corrigan, who played camogie for Glenolin and County Derry, captaining the team to the county final last season. For those unfamiliar, camogie is a fast-paced stick-and-ball game that resembles hurling, but it has a few different rules, and is also, for the time being, administered by a different association. Houston almost with a pick 6, undercutting the route to Heasley. It's just 2nd down for the Trojans as they breathe a sigh of relief. Mejia lined up as the blitzer. All 3 receivers triangle formation to the left. Snapper goes to the right, and this one's caught underneath to Heasley. And Shore gets the tackle. They eventually line it up past the 10. 3rd down, need the halfway line. Smith looks over her options, has 2 to her left. Going over the middle, looking for Heasley, and Heasley corrals it with a flag on the contact. This is a no contact sport. By the spirit of the rules, both teams are instructed to avoid physical contact when possible.
Let's go, Minnie.
After the catch, illegal contact, defense number 12. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Penalty results in getting beyond the halfway line and resets the downs. So the Trojans get beyond halfway for the 2nd time today. You may be able to hear in the background there are other games going on a separate field as Heasley lines up close to the snapper. Here comes that pitch play motion back to Smith. Smith is allowed to run from here, and Smith gets to Houston at the 10-yard line and has her flag yanked. Second down inside the 10. Belfast closing in on the no rushing zone, which is the 5-yard line, denoted by the white cones. So the white cones are for passing only. There is no running in the white zone. Any of my airplane fans, shout out to you. Underneath route, Irvine snaking through, and she does not get to the goal line. As Irvine snaking through. Easily again has it right by snap. And this one is a botched play. 3rd down goes nowhere. Failed on that first transfer to Heasley. Fumbles under the rules result in the play just being blown dead as a result of this being a non-contact league. You don't want people jumping on for the ball. That would sort of ruin the spirit of the no contact rules. Looks like a measure of confusion over what down it is. And also the spot of the ball. It's just outside the 5, so they are allowed to run it. Beasley again lines up close to the snap. And now they do the double QB route again. Smith going to go for the corner, and she does not get there. Fourth down here for the Trojans at the goal line. UCD has been set up on this drive so far. Can't run the ball from here. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Must get it in the end zone for the score. Everybody now lined up right. Here's Smith. Back to throw. Looking left, looking right, looking to the pylon, and was she inbounds? No. Turnover on downs. UCD turns Belfast away at the goal line. Catch made beyond the end zone lines. And Belfast is now 0 for 3 on offensive drives to start the day. So here comes Sam Smith, the New Jersey native, back at quarterback today. 2 receivers to her right. High snap, caught. Able to try something with it. Incomplete in a maze of bodies. Just results in second down. They'll keep 2 receivers on the left-hand side of the quarterback. Bonko spread out wide to the right. Again doing that 2-rusher look. They try the underneath throw, and it does not work. The blitzer gets her for the loss on second down, creating a long third down play. Sophie Irvine, the one on the tackle. Third down and halfway of the field to go. They'll try 2 receivers to the right. Handleable snap, going over the top, incomplete, nobody open. Houston and Fonko were over there, and in coverage was Ashley Craig. Fourth down and a long ways to go. A defensive penalty might bail UCD out here, as UCD will swap balls. Fourth and forever. Instructions from Trojans are to make sure everything stays in front of the coverage. Smith has the snap. Going up top, incomplete. UCD fails to convert as they now go 0 for 3 on offensive drives for the half. However, because of the turnover on downs nature, the automatic drive starting point is the defensive 5. So this means Belfast, because they didn't get a turnover on that, must start on their side of the field. So all told, not a terrible drive for UCD because they keep the ball on Belfast half of the field to start. And it's still a 0-0 contest. Motion from left to right. And the snap goes back. Beasley has it. Great gain on first down, sets up a makeable second down. And the Trojans trying to play hurry up. Trojans quickening their pace. Smith back to throw, steps into pressure, and it's incomplete. So Smith will try again. Triangle formation, bunch to the left-hand side. And it's Smith's ball to throw. Blitz coming off the corner from Acton underneath to Heasley. And Fonko gets the pull, but not before the first down is achieved. Just at midfield. Two receivers left, one to the right. Trojans on the march. Mejia is the declared blitzer. She'll come up the middle. And Mejia could not get a hand on that one as it flies to Heasley for a completed pass. Trojans call their first of 2 timeouts in this game. They are allowed 2 per half as the coaching staff for the Trojans runs out to talk to their players. Bo Ramadan is the head coach for the Belfast Trojans. He's assisted by Nick Fitzsimmons, the D coordinator, Matthew McConnell, an assistant coach, as well as Sean Shannon, another assistant coach. As for UCD, Patty Sweeney is the head coach of UCD. He is not at the field today, so Owen McMahon stands in for him, as well as Tom McAniff. McAniff is a running back on UCD's tackle football team and a flag football legend for his exploits in the intervarsities this past fall. Helped lead UCD to a second-place finish. Second down and goal. Trojans have 2 receivers left, one far out to the right. Smith backpedals quickly, steps into pressure, goes over the top, incomplete. Wanted everything on that play, could not get anything. Then it sets up a long third down late in this first half. Same formation as the previous play. Smith receives. Looking left, has a woman open, gets it to her, and a flag is eventually pulled. Trojans will call yet another timeout following the completed pass. The woman catching the ball is wearing number 84. I do not have anybody listed with that number. There are a few players for the Trojans that did not give me a number to identify them. I have a bunch of names, but several are unassigned numbers. So at the risk of being wrong, I'm going to choose to say nothing. As a fourth down play coming for the Trojans after this timeout. From the 9, so they are allowed to run the ball. A backward toss play would still be legal from this far out. Smith stands and waits, one close to the snapper. And it looks like they're going to fake that 2 QB formation, make UCD think about it. Corner blitz, over to the left pylon. Got it complete, touchdown Trojans. First score of the game comes late in the first half, and it's on the Trojans' 4th drive. Trojans will line up to go for 1 from the 5. They are allowed to go for 2 from the 10, but they choose the 1-yard play, the 1-point play. Triangle formation left side. Corner blitz again from Acton. Going to the pylon, short, breaks it up, incomplete. UCD will receive the ball back at the 5 to start their 4th drive of the game. So far, turnovers on downs on all 3 drives. And due to the running clock, that is the end of the first half. UCD will open the half with the ball, though, if it's any consolation. Thank you again to all of you who have joined us today. My name is Max Walpoff. We wanted to get these games to you live on Saturday afternoon when they were all played. However, due to some technical and internet snafus, we were unable to do so. But thankfully, our camera caught the action, so we are able to present it to you pre-recorded for all of you to watch. A lot of other games going on in game day number 2. Game day number 3 for this league is going to be Saturday, 21st of June, as it will be at Daremore Park in Belfast as part of the Belfast Trojans' last home game of the year against the South Dublin Panthers. In those games, the Belfast Knights will take on the North Down Dragons, and then afterward the Dragons will face the Trojans, followed by Trojans versus Knights in what's sure to be a great spirited bout of the two Belfast neighbors. And the final game of the day will be the Dragons versus the Vipers. Next time UCD will be in action will be the 28th of June, where they will play 2 contests to finish out their season in this round-robin format. They will play the North Down Dragons, and then following that, they will play the Northwest Vipers. Both teams they have not played yet this season. Worth repeating that the finals for Claddagh League will be held in Dewberry Park in Athlone. The top 6 seeds will make the playoffs, and the 3 through 6 seeds will all be in the wild card format. That means 3rd seed will play 6th seed, and 4th seed will play 5th seed in wild card action, leading into the semifinals where the 1st and 2nd seeds await the winners. 3rd place game is scheduled that day to take place around 2:30, followed by a 3:50 start for the Claddagh Bowl between the last 2 teams remaining. This round-robin style, every team will play each other once. As UCD coming into today, they've played 3 games, and the Trojans entering this game have only played 1 so far. Claddagh Bowl will be part of a triple-header championship action. The Division 1 finals, the Harp Bowl, will take place following the flag football game. And then after that, it's the Shamrock Bowl, between the last 2 teams standing in the Premier Division. Halftime is about 2 minutes long, and UCD and the Trojans discussing what to do next. Trojans only have 6 on the board. UCD will open the half with the ball. Both quarterbacks, Helen Smith for the Trojans and Sam Smith for UCD, have been inefficient at getting completed passes to go for many yards. Pass was caught by a player for Belfast that I do not have a number or a name assigned to it. So my apologies to number 89. Nobody told me who you are. Looks like we're just about set to get back underway. UCD is going to open the half with the ball. Both teams will reset and have 2 timeouts. Trojans were the only team to utilize their timeouts in that first half. So Smith stands back in the quarterback position.
Let's go, Jay!
And the Trojans have 2 hands up, so it's again a 2-rusher look. They'll send the rush from the defensive right. Overshot a receiver, incomplete. A flag is on the play. Flag it behind the play in coverage. Thrown by the back judge. He's not wearing stripes, so pardon me for not realizing that the person who threw that flag is an official, as Kaylee Veal is called for shielding, or what tackle football fans might know as blocking. It's not allowed in a non-contact sport. You are allowed to stand still and hold your ground, but you are not allowed to make motion to prevent somebody from going a certain direction. Smith has it on a now much longer first down. Throws it back to Veal, and Veal knocks a player over as 2 officials throw their flags on the action. Now a discussion ensues about what to do about this. UCD trails by 6. And our referee will discuss something with the players.
It's on offense.
You hear the back judge say it's an offensive penalty. They have to discuss something with Kaylee Veal. Veal from Dungarvan in Waterford. She's a former camogie player, and camogie is a lot more contact than flag football is. So it's half the distance from inside the 2, as UCD is backed up by a lot. Smith to throw. Going over the top, and it's not intercepted. Incomplete. Helen Smith had a chance at the ball. He could not complete the catch. And it is now 3rd down. The offensive penalty has resulted in a loss of down somewhere along the way. Same formation as the previous one. Houston spread out to the left, my right as I'm looking at it on the screen. Smith looks that direction first. It's over the top, broken up. And now it's a 4th down play. One thing UCD must avoid here is a turnover. If Belfast intercepts the ball on this half of the field, wherever they finish the play, that's where they'll start the drive. Whereas if it's just a turnover on downs for UCD, the drive will start at the Belfast 5. UCD sends all their receivers to Smith's right. Again, a 2-rusher look for the Trojans. Going up the shore, has it, and dropped it. Over on downs, Belfast has to go all the way to their side of the field to start the drive. So not the worst case scenario for UCD, but unable to convert for the 4th consecutive drive. They'll turn it right back to the team in the lead. Smith receives the snap. Throws it back to her snapper. It's too low, incomplete. Had a chance at the ball, but number 84 could not bring it in. Two receivers left, one to the right. As Mejia is the one rushing up the middle. They'll try that same throw again, and once more it is incomplete. Third down from their 5. Trojans get to gain any yards on this drive. Back to Smith. Mejia rushes her out to the right. Throw is underneath, and apparently Mejia got the sack. It was within the pylons, however, the pylons were misaligned, so it is not a safety. Oh, that is a brutal break against UCD there. Mejia gets the sack, but because the pylons were misaligned, it looked like a safety at first, and it isn't. Backed up from inside the 1, as it's a running play, they're just going to try to get whatever they can. Shore breaks it up, so what could have been 2 points for UCD, as now there's a flag on the play, as Irvine went down on that attempted flagpole. Penalty is against the Trojans, so it will result in a change of possession. As a brutal break for UCD, the misaligned pylons result in the play not being a safety, despite it definitely looking like one when I watched it live. This doesn't happen when you play on non-purpose-built fields. A lot of the setup is makeshift and temporary. As you may be able to tell by the posts on the side, this is more used for Gaelic football and hurling than it is for American sports. Smith sends all receivers to the left to start this next drive. Rolling out to her right, over top of Veal, incomplete for Fonco and Shore. Brings up second down and long. Both teams turned it over on downs for their first drives of the second half. We thank you again for joining us today as part of our Week 2 flag football coverage. Sam Smith back to throw, goes to Houston. Houston gets positive yards as there is a flag on the play outside of where the coverage was. We'll see what the call is here. A long discussion with the side judge. Okay, I've never seen this. The back judge throws a flag after the play announcement. I don't know what this is about. And they march it back against UCD on the play. Not 100% sure why the back judge threw his flag on that one, but as it's an after the play penalty, they march it back. Results in the play just third down from the 5. So it's as if the pass was never completed. And now after that long discussion, we can continue playing football. Shore in motion across the left to the right. Underneath to Houston. That's Veal on the catch. The short gain sets up a 4th down. Yes, it must get to the halfway line. They are just beyond the 10. So 4th and about 15 to go. All receivers right. Again, two in coverage have their hands up to be the declared runners. Only one goes. Smith rolls, got to the line, and they'll rule us back before the release of the football. So it's a turnover on downs for the Trojans.
Come on, girl. That's my girl all day.
Ball, he's got ball.
Trojans now with their second drive of the second half. Scored on their final drive of the first half to make the game 6-0. Ellen Smith, the one in backfield. Trekked right, went left, and a bunch of players collide and fall as Shore was on the coverage. It's a 1st down completion for 8 or so yards. We'll check the flag and see what happens here. All right, so it's as if the pass was incomplete, as Shore was judged to have illegally contacted the receiver, and the receiver was judged to have illegally contacted Shore. So that ends up being nothing, as I believe that was number 11, Amy Sheridan, on the far left side. Now it's a 1st down play all over again, and they tried outside again. This time it does just go incomplete. So now a 2nd and 5. Smith has 2 receivers left, one to the right, on the 2nd down play from the 5. Short drop back. Houston's got it. Houston has the reception, and she's close. She's inside the 5. It's an interception and a rare miscue for the Belfast side. UCD has the ball with great field position. UCD in the no rushing zone, so they must throw the ball forward. Emily Houston had a pick 6 in UCD's first contest of the year. And Smith has 3 receivers. Shore comes closer to the snapper. This one's a pass back to Smith. She's going to try the double pass. It's intercepted too! Returning it all the way to the other side. Explosion. Pick 6 for the interception.
That's my girl. Let's go.
Trojans turn a potential disaster into a success. They will line up to go for 1. Okay, so Grace Mejia jogs onto the field to complete the 5-player set on defense. Inside the no rushing zone. Triangle around the snapper. Smith has it, going back pylon. And nobody has it. So that's just 6 points for the Trojans. UCD will take the ball back at their 5. Unable to convert. On great field position, first play intercepted and went all the way back for 6 for the Trojans. Ball from the White Hatters, 4 minutes remaining on the 20-minute running clock. There will be a 2-minute warning. Both teams still have 2 timeouts. This is UCD's 4th time with the ball. Must drive the length of the field to get something on the board. And Veal on an underneath route has it complete. That was Ashley Craig with the tackle. One of the reasons she loves flag football is the pre-match vibes that come with it. This is her 2nd year playing this game. 3 receivers left, and Smith stands ready to fire. They send a rush up the middle. And this is a pass to Houston, as there's a flag on the coverage. Hannah King, the one coming off. She was the one on that rush earlier. Hannah King began playing flag for the Trojans back in October of 2019 and previously only played on the mixed team. Underneath to Houston, she gets around the coverage, eluded a tackle briefly. As one of the coaches for the Trojans makes the motion for a 30-second timeout, as if this was the National Basketball Association. I thought that was good. UCD must get to the halfway line to reset the downs. It's 3rd down. Down by 12. 4th drive of the half. 7th overall. Smith, back to throw, underneath again to Houston. They've only had success on those underneath routes as King comes back on. That was 4th down. My apologies to everybody for getting the count mixed up. And now the Trojans have a chance to put this game away with under probably about 3 minutes left to go. Chance to drive down the field and finish UCD off. Oh, we have hit the 2-minute warning. There's precisely 2 minutes left. First and halfway to go. And they try the underneath pitch, incomplete. Results just in 2nd down. UCD trails by 2 possessions, so 2-minute timing rules will benefit UCD for any incomplete passes. They'll hand it off. It's a spin and run, unable to get very far. The clock is going to wind, and that is good news for the Trojans. Count this game down as far as possible, down to 0. Triangle formation left. Alan Smith receives the snap. Acton blitzing from the corner. Underneath throw. And Shore yanks the flag beyond the 10-yard line. And she went out of bounds, so that stopped the clock, which is a benefit to UCD. Preserves some time. There is no onside kick or onside play to keep the ball following a scoring play. Back to Smith eventually after a bunch of trickery. And that 3rd down play gets closer but not quite. Trojans really only had one successful drive, and that was their final drive of the first half. Beyond that, this UCD defense has done a great job at keeping the Trojans off the board. One good offensive drive and a pick six is all that separates UCD from the Trojans in this game. However, it doesn't look that way with a 12-0 score. Smith loads up looking for Veal. It's intercepted. Emer Corrigan picks off Sam Smith. And this results in the Trojans starting inside the UCD half of the field. Corrigan played her first competitive flag football tournament in May of 2025. UCD is going to call a timeout, it looks like. Trying to set their defense and figure out what they want to do next. Corrigan is a UX developer working for a company that specializes in learning management systems. As she and the Trojans lead UCD by 2 scores in this first game of the day for UCD. We will bring you the Belfast Knights contest immediately following the conclusion of this game due to the pre-recorded nature of today's games. Triangle forms around the snapper, and one receiver spreads wide out left. Smith takes it under center. They're just beyond the 5, so they're allowed to run the ball, and they do. Touchdown, Trojans. Actually, nope, not yet. The flagpole came, so now they're inside the no running zone. Is there a signal? Flag on the play. There was no signal. And there's a flag also in the back of the end zone. There is a discussion now about what happened on that previous play. The back judge is also going to come in and discuss. Just trying to listen in and see what the white hat says, see if our camera picked it up. They're discussing with UCD about whether to decline the shielding call here. It'll be a 5-yard penalty if UCD takes it. So they'll back up the Trojans a few yards. All that discussion for a shielding call puts the Trojans in position. Must get to the goal line. Replay of second down from about the 10. Smith loads up middle of the field, and it's broken up. Grace Mejia had it on the rush, knocks it down, third down coming. Because of the incomplete pass, clock will stop inside of the 2 minutes. They eventually spot the ball properly. I believe that's Hannah King down to take the snapping duties. Backward pitch, they hand it off and it goes nowhere. Failed transfer. And it's now 4th down. Sounds like there's 1 minute and 16 seconds remaining. Triangle formation again around the snap. Smith goes under center. That's a running play. And sneaking through, getting around the pole for the touchdown. Trojans lead now 18-0. And inside of 2 minutes, a 3-possession lead. UCD will fall now to 2-2 on the season. See what the final score line is. Trojans will go for 1. Motion from the left. All 3 receivers now on the right. Snapper is the only one that runs left, and it's caught. 1-point conversion goes for the Trojans. That's their first successful conversion of the game. And UCD will go back out on offense, trying to get points on the board. Point differential is a noted tiebreaker, so there is still something to play for UCD, even with the margin of the game too much to win. They can get points on the board to alleviate the margin issues in this contest. Up top for sure, incomplete. First down gets no yards. They'll reset and pick it up with second down. Here's a chance with 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Again, a 2-blitzer look. Both of them are going to come after the quarterback. And Shore receives the pass. Easily the tackle. Third down and short. Discussing their next play before breaking. So keep it 2 receivers right, as Smith clarifies the play with Shore and Fonco. Smith has the low snap. Throws it over the top to Shore. It's complete. Shore running around, getting through some defenders. A flag comes down. Shore's in the end zone. And now a flag from the down judge as well. Unclear what the call is going to be here. UCD had it at third down from outside the halfway line. Trojans coaching staff will head down to the field and take this opportunity to discuss with each other what to do next. UCD has a touchdown on the board as a result of that play. And judging by the fact that they're talking to UCD, this is going against the offense. They're going to call flag guarding on the play. I don't know about that. As that was the final play of the game. Trojans get on the board with a victory, 19-0, the result of that game. UCD unable to get anything going on offense. Had a few drives get yards, but they were unable to get much out of it. So once again, thank you so much to everybody who has joined us today for these games. My name is Max Walpluff, and I'm the voice of UCD American Football. We will now move straight into the action. where, if you'll pardon me a moment while I situate how this is going to work. We will switch straight into the second game of action between UCD and the Belfast Knights. The camera started this game a tad late, so as a result, we're going to start this contest at 6-0 UCD following a Blessed Fonko touchdown. So pardon me while I hit play. We'll get underway.
Get down, Blessed!
So Blessed Fonko has the touchdown in UCD's second game of the day here against the Belfast Knights. Smith lining up. Deal cannot make the catch for the conversion play. Incomplete.
Let's go, G! Let's go, defense! Defend the lead!
UCD leading for the first time in any of their games today. This is only their second of two matchups. Like Meg Minahan in at quarterback for the Knights. She joined the team in September of 2024. Passes over the middle, got it complete, and it's a catch and run for Donna McGovern. She also joined from a mixed team and has enjoyed every second of it so far. In addition to flag football, McGovern plays GAA and rugby. Pass down to McGovern again. Acton misses the pull. Fonko getting there. She has it beyond the first down line. First down for Minahan and the Knights, as actually they're going to back up the play. So it's third down instead. This is field number 2 at Newton Hamilton, as Minahan discusses something with her slot receiver. Everybody on the right-hand side of the ball. Minahan underneath, roped, incomplete. Wanted Madison Stewart, also in her first season of playing flag football. Stewart has tried a bunch of different sports, but none of them have stuck previously. And here she is now playing competitive flag football in the new AFI Claddagh League. A 6-0 contest. Minahan oversees her option, has it completed, as McGovern hauled that one in. You may notice on the sideline, the side judge is wearing a red bow. Many players and coaches in AFI are cross-trained as referees, and the woman in the red bow plays for the Dublin Red Bows, hence the name, or hence the attire, I should say. Minahan has the ball. It's an underneath pitch play. Grace Mejia stopped that from going very far, as Stewart got the catch but could not get much. Second down, and UCD's stiff defense goes back to work. The only team to truly torch UCD for many points was the South Dublin Panthers in the last game of the first week. Contact on the reception, as McGovern is able to haul it in complete. Now it's third down for the Knights. Must get to the goal line here in this first half of action. Minahan rolls right. Had her option. Now it's taken away. Underneath throw is incomplete. I believe that was Abigail Halligan on the intended target. If that was number 95, Abigail Halligan, who began playing for the Ulster Alps at Ulster University. And she started out, in her own words, as a joke in 2022. And now she's come so far as to have trained with the Irish Wolfhounds team. Minahan rolling left, fakes, rolls right. UCD stays back in coverage. Mejia rolls back in, over to the top, incomplete. Had a chance at McGovern in the end zone, and it went nowhere. As the Knights' first drive of the camera capture ends in a turnover on downs.
Great job, D.
6-0 UCD in the lead.
Grace, you're getting the hell pressure too.
But you see, when we put the pitch there, she was expecting that middle to be open again.
Next contest for UCD will be on June 28th back at this field. It will be a 12:30 matchup with the North Down Dragons, followed by a 3 o'clock afternoon matinee with the Northwest Vipers to finish round robin play. Smith goes to Houston, has the tall receiver in play. Tackle made by Stewart. It brings up a second and short. UCD discusses their next play briefly, and they'll set up with Fonco spread wide to the right, Shore in the slot receiver's position, and Emily Houston on the left-hand side. Underneath to Shore, and it's a quick flag pull for negative yards. Still third and medium setting up here. Didn't lose much on the play. Smith now has two receivers to her right. She'll roll left, get a wide open back to Veal, who will backpedal. And eventually, the flag is pulled after getting the first down. That's Alice Gordon, number 4 for the Knights. First down following the pull. And UCD now has the goal line in sight for their second score of the day. Just enough sunlight to brighten the field with the dark clouds overhead. Sam receives a snap back to Veal again, and she's backpedaling, and she's going to get more yards from there. The Govern on the stop. Now inside the 10, UCD will work for the goal line. Shore and Fonco line up right. Houston lines up wide left. Veal will join them. It's a snap over the head of Smith, and that results in a lost down. Third down coming. UCD failed to score in their previous matchup against the Trojans. Receivers go toward the end zone looking for Shore. Got it complete. Touchdown, UCD. Sounds as though UCD is going to line up to go for 2 from the 10. As Smith's pass goes over the coverage and finds Heather Shore, the one-time Notre Dame marching band member, in the back of the end zone. 3 receivers right. Smith gets control of the ball. Going to the left side, looking for Houston. Flag pull is in the end zone. It's a complete conversion.
Great hands back.
14-0. as UCD goes up 2 possessions. The Knights will set up again from their 5-yard line. Head coach is John McChrystal, and his defensive coordinator is Gavin Taylor. Minahan receives, and the first down snap over one receiver and underneath Evelyn Acton. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. McChrystal's been involved in football since the age of 17. He began with the Knights junior squad, joining the senior team and has played at wide receiver and running back. He's currently the offensive coordinator for the Belfast Knights Premier Division team. His team faces a 2nd down play here. Minahan receives the snap, rolls out to her right, throws back across her body, and it's incomplete. Smith had a chance at an interception following the mishandle. And Madison Stewart third down, gaining 0 yards on the previous 2 plays. Underneath toss to Stewart. Stewart gets around 1 tackler, gets through 2 more, getting to the halfway line, getting the 1st down. UCD entering this contest at 2-2 on the year. Setting up themselves in decent position, possibly after 5 games, to wrap up a playoff bid. Make the underneath toss and go over the top. Incomplete. McGovern and Halligan were nearby, but could not haul it in. Second down. Minahan's got 2 receivers to her right, 1 to her left. She'll roll right, throw back left, and it's another catch and run for her Stewart. Decent success on those underneath routes. However, it still sets up a 3rd down situation. Shore puts up her hand to blitz as 3 receivers line up right. Everyone stays back in coverage as Acton was actually the one going to run. Incomplete throw, wanted Stewart again. 4th down. And it's the 2-minute warning, so the Knights are going to take advantage of this and discuss what they want to do on this critical juncture. 2 possession lead for UCD, up by 14. Because now UCD's staff is going to discuss something as well.
I'm getting a little bit more
Acton, the rusher on that last play, grew up playing soccer as well as dancing. And she and UCD so far have danced their way to a 2-possession lead. UCD and the Knights have their instructions. 4th down, setting up here.
I want to say.
As Belfast trying to get on the board.
Yeah, 14. 2 touchdowns.
Snap goes. Minahan fields it, going all the way. Had a receiver wide open, incomplete. Had McGovern at the back of the end zone. Overshot her. Turnover on downs for the Knights. UCD's offense has less than 2 minutes to work with so far in this first half of action. Previous 2 drives have both gone for scores. As Smith gives her marching orders to her receivers. Next contest for UCD won't be for another 2 weeks. Smith receives the snap over her left shoulder underneath to Shore. And Shore, she's going to get around a bunch of people. Oh, a breaking tackle! Oh!
Let's convert! Let's go! Let's convert! He's hungry!
Heather Shore breaking tackles like the shore breaks waves. Incredible throw and catch, and then the great run.
I was waiting for the like grip walk into it or some shit.
UCD again will line up to go for 2. 3 straight drives, 3 straight touchdowns for UCD. Underneath, looking for Houston. Houston's got to get the ball over the line. Does not get there. No conversion for Houston. She could not reach it over the pylon. Now the Knights do get the ball back here in this half. See what they can do with it, down by 20. Tie it underneath for it, play to Stewart. Stewart gets underneath the coverage, and Axton pulls it. Now a second down play, Knights got to hurry. Like the Knights traveled with a small roster. Okay, they've got the 5 on the field and 1 on the sideline. Top for Minahan, she's able to field it, and underneath, Mejia clamoring for a shielding call, but Acton makes another stop for the first down line. It's 3rd down Knights. Third and very short.
Watch the short, watch the short.
Mejia is the one with the hand up for the blitz. Pass to Stewart beyond the first down sticks. Clock will stop as the referees reset themselves. 1st and goal setting up for Belfast. Fonko, Houston, and Shore on the touchdown catches for UCD on their previous 3 drives to score 20 points unanswered.
Let's go, Grace!
Minahan up, bats it back down to herself. Mejia, and this is a pass over the top. There was a lot going on there that I'm not sure anybody understood. So, previous play, Mejia ran in on the blitz. The underneath route receiver ran into her before Mejia could get to Minahan. That results in 3rd down and an incomplete pass. Yeah, it's third down from our side judge. High snap. The referee catches it. Nobody was going to catch that one. So that ends up now converting to a 4th down from the same exact.
We'll take the flags all day. Roughing the ref. What? Score got me. Penalty got me.
Receivers right, 1 to the left. Over the top again.
Nice. That's all you, Grace. Good pressure. Let's go up.
And now it's 4th down? I think everybody's confused on what down number it is, but the official call is 4th. So Minahan and the Knights have 1 more shot.
Your references are off the chain. Everybody knows.
I love when Joe pulls that out. He's referencing himself.
Joe referencing himself has got to be the cringiest, funniest thing.
Minahan loads up, going for it all, and overshot Halligan, incomplete.
Let's go, Perf! Let's go, Perf! I like that very last minute wave in the hands.
So UCD goes back on the field. Perhaps content to let this run to the end of the half, up by 3 scores. But considering they lost the previous game by 19, they're now +1 on the day and have a chance to increase their point differential. Halligan, the declared rusher. Everybody for Belfast is underneath. Veal got the reception. She's holding the ball out, get more yards. Eventually, the flag gets pulled. After a long gain, it's a first down.
Maybe 2 hands in the rock.
My apologies. The down judge on the other side waved his hands beyond the 25, so I assumed that meant that she was given those yards. She was not. Second down, halfway to go.
They know second one is our most dangerous.
Smith's got 2 receivers to her left. She'll go underneath to Shore on the crossing pattern. Shore's going to run through, running free, and almost getting past McGovern for another score. First down coming up again. Looking for the end zone. I believe UCD's got both of their timeouts. And UCD's coaching staff they're going to take a timeout here. Two receivers right. First down play for Smith. Loads up, goes for it all. One Shore or Funko. Broken up, incomplete. Halligan broke it up, but Stewart could not haul it in for the interception. Now it's second down. Smith rolls the left, looking for Houston. Quick pass, got it complete. And she runs over McGovern. That's Minahan, number 9. Yikes, that was dangerous collision. As referees all throw their flags. They're going to call Houston for the illegal contact play. And that will end the half. So it's Michael Harvey and Tom McKenna, both players on UCD's tackle football team, discussing how good that play would have been if the rules only allowed it. Once again, thank you so much to all of you for sticking with us here, as it's UCD 20, Belfast Knights nothing. We're about to get started on the second half of action. We invite you to donate to support us. We are a small club, and we always are appreciative of our donors. On the live stream that we had up briefly, we actually did get some donations during the live stream, so we're incredibly thankful for those of you who continue to support UCD American football. The second half of action is coming up next between UCD and the Belfast Knights.
Yeah, you did give her a good thumb, but she just dropped it.
Oh, you go behind and around.
I like how you just like fight your way over the second person as well.
Yeah,
Put Emily in pads.
Absolutely going throws.
Well, you've been improving enough. I feel like it's
I'll give you one dump tackle.
That's
That's the wrong mentality. No, run that back.
You have too much of a. So we have
right away.
That boy, Oscar. He's going to grab himself.
No, it's a flag on him.
Actually got the bait. Too little. He's too little. That's what got him. That's what's more the show. Memorized tomorrow, man.
Yeah, sorry, Patty. Also, that's what maybe.
You know you love it.
You know you need the back?
No, it's not. It's a flat. That was flat?
One set, and then you run across the face.
And you look back.
I can't perceive us asking what a flap is.
You look back, and run on like this.
Flat is just a shallow zone. If in doubt, it's where purpose. Look for purpose, use the flat. Watch.
When did Burke have it?
You know what I mean?
It's
You look back towards the quarterback. So you're not looking over this shoulder. Back in.
No, I've never not got
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is that dog mentality.
Stop running backwards. He catch it. Let's doing this.
UCD and the Belfast Knights getting set to come back to action as the players are discussing with a few members of the UCD tackle football team. That's Oscar Egan, Michael Harvey, and Tom McKenna, the ones you can potentially see on the bottom of the screen. As it's a 20-0 lead for UCD, 3 straight touchdowns closing in on that first half of action. Their last drive ended the half. Next games for AFI in this Claddagh League will be the Belfast Knights against the Northdown Dragons, Dragons versus the Trojans, Trojans against the Knights, and then the Dragons and the Vipers as part of a festival of games on Saturday, June 21st at Durmore Park in Belfast. UCD will next play their final 2 games of the season back at this exact same location. They'll first play the Northdown Dragons and finish off their season with a matchup against the Northwest Vipers. Depending on UCD's seed, following that, they will potentially qualify for the playoffs if they are top 6. If they are 3rd through 6th, that will be a spot in the wild card round, which will begin play at noon in Dewberry Park in Athlone, County Westmeath, followed by the semifinals immediately after between the 1st and 2nd seeds and the 2 winners from the wild card round. As yikes, those clouds do not look good in Newton Hamilton today. There will be a 3rd place game for the Claddagh League, followed by the Claddagh Bowl, which will kick off Championship Sunday between the 3 leagues of American Football Ireland. The Claddagh League, which is the one you're watching today, the Division 1 contests, and the Premier Division. And the Premier Division is where UCD American Football resides. At the time of this recording, they are in 2nd place, trailing the Belfast Trojans. Next game for UCD American Football on this channel will be this upcoming Sunday, June 15th. It will be their last home game of the year against the South Dublin Panthers. UCD will open the half on Meg Minahan is the quarterback for the Belfast Knights. She claims that she has a mix of great transferable skills from playing GAA, means she can run, and throwing the ball for the dog. Let's see who she can find on this first passing play. Minahan underneath throw, incomplete. Receiver had it in her hands and dropped it. 2nd down from the 5 following the incomplete pass. This is Belfast's first drive of the half, failing to score in that first half of action. Minahan, a wide snap, able to field it underneath to Madison Stewart, and Stewart runs away through a few. Blessed Fonko diving to get that flag. third down, must get to the orange cone at the halfway line of the field. The halfway line is 25 yards. So they're about 10 from that. Minahan, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Mejia stays back in coverage. The one you hear yelling pass is, I believe, Michael Harvey, reprising his role from UCD American football. Whenever he's on the sideline for a player, whenever any team for UCD has plays on the sideline, people on the sideline are tasked with yelling pass when the quarterback is back to pass, or run when the ball is handed off. Minahan goes right and puts it up. Incomplete. Turnover on downs as Belfast's first drive results in nothing. Back starting at the 5, and Sam Smith has to be called away from her conversation on the sideline to take back duties at quarterback. UCD entered today's at 2 wins, 2 losses. We'll play 2 more games following this one to figure out the seeding for the upcoming Claddagh League. On and off rain all day as Sam Smith gets the first pass over to Emily Houston, and Houston stretching out the ball, getting away from Minahan. Second down after getting most of the yardage needed. Receiver far out left, 2 to the right. Perfect snap to Smith. Looking for Fonko. Oh, can't bring it in. Underneath coverage by McGovern. Pass was too tall. Fonko from Louth, their second-year computer science student at UCD. She played Gaelic football for over 8 years as a cornerback. And played at club level and made it up to county level as a goalkeeper. Smith now on this third down play underneath DeVille. He's going to stretch the ball and get close to that first down line, but not make it there. Tackle from Halligan brings up 4th down. One of the benefits of a small roster from a broadcaster's perspective is it's the same 5 or 6 names. So I've gotten very used to hearing the same names. There's no declared rusher for the Knights, playing prevent defense at the line. People sure got it. Heather gets away from 1, gets away from 2, and she's all the way. Touchdown UCD. UCD converts on their first drive of the half as Heather Shore brings in her second catch and run of the day.
Oh, Oscar, you have so much to learn.
UCD lines up to go for 1 to make this a 27-point game. Underneath throw, Fonko converts. +1 for the students in Sky Blue. Belfast Knights come back out onto the field, still scoreless on the day. Minahan looks over her plate to see what the call is here. And now all receivers are going to line up on the right side of the snap. Mejia opts to stay back in coverage. Underneath throw is incomplete. Second down on the setup here. to be failed pass for Claire Delergy. Delergy began playing flag football about 5 months ago, as she heard about the Knights from a friend. Second down, underneath row. Madison Stewart on the run, and that's Houston on the pull. Delergy has played golf most of her life for 16 years, so adjusting to a sport like flag football has been steep for her, but she is, by her own admission, enjoying it so far. Minahan sets up this second down play after a short yardage gain. Now third down, and it's a drop for Halligan, incomplete. Fourth down setup here, must get to the halfway line to reset the chains or have a defensive penalty. UCD is one score away from activating the running clock for this half. Now all receivers right. Minahan at the goal line for the snap. Has the high snap. Looking for anybody to get open, wanting the corner route. McGovern off her hands, incomplete. Turnover on downs as McGovern could not haul in the play with nothing but green grass ahead of her. So UCD now second drive of the half. Of their completed drives in the last 4, it's been touchdown, 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 and touchdown. The only break in that chain was the drive that stopped because of the halftime whistle. Two receivers left, one to the right, as Veal is back over the ball. Shore cuts underneath, cut right to her on the pass, and everybody falls. As Minahan had the throw, had the flagpole, but whoever the down judge is on the near side has changed from the first half. Threw what amounted to a flag, which was just a black felt piece of something. Second down is the setup here for UCD. Going over the top of the covers, wanting Houston, incomplete. Houston, Shore, and Fonko were all past the defense. The incomplete pass bails out McGovern at the backside of coverage. Third down, need to get to the halfway line. I want to again thank each and every one of you who has joined us on this re-recorded live stream, as it were. Smith receives the third down snap, looking for Fonko, incomplete through her hands. McGovern was behind her. Had to layer that throw and could not layer enough. Fourth down as the Knights have a chance to get off the field and back on offense. Actually, I'm just noticing my own malapropism, as it were. For such a small roster, they don't go off the field. They just take control of the ball. 4 receivers lined up to defend the first down line. Underneath throw is to Veal, who gets the first down line. McGovern got the flagpole, but not before Veal got across that orange cone. Reset the downs. 4 plays to get to the goal line. The receivers set up left, and Smith stands ready to receive. Short snap, underneath pass to Houston. Houston going to stretch the ball out as much as she can get. Great gain on first down. Halligan and Minahan will swap spots on defensive coverage. Halligan now takes over that defensive left position. And Minahan lines up underneath. Nobody has a declared rush on. Short toss to Shore. Sam Smith's allowed to run. She'll have to go back to Shore, who makes the catch. got past the outstretched breakup of Madison Stewart. And it's another gain to set up third down and goal from about the 5. Tom McKenniff roaming the sidelines for UCD in the hooded sweatshirt that you see on the far right side of the screen as he looks over and sees what the UCD team has a chance to do here. Third down, 5 yards to get. Snap to Shore. Back over to Smith. She can run from just there, and she gets to the end zone. Call is touchdown with a flag from the referee. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, they were just inside the no rushing zone. I thought they were too close, but they were inside the no rushing zone, which was the 5-yard line to the goal line. Nice catch by our referee to get his flag back, as that sets up third down from the 10. If UCD runs that same play from this angle, it would be a legal play. Instead, they'll opt to pass. Looking back pylon for Shore. Got it in. Did she get both feet? Yes! Make it 3 scores for Heather Shore. 33-0 UCD on top. And UCD will try for 1 to make it a 34-point lead. Two receivers go to the left, 1 goes to the right. Quick snap to Smith. Going underneath to Houston, who stretches out. Does she get the pylon? Yes, she does. 34-point lead for UCD. Again, it's always worth repeating. This is a round-robin schedule for all the teams in this league, with point differential being a key tiebreaker. So for UCD, it does still behoove them to run up the score and make up ground for their previous 2 losses, especially the big loss to the South Dublin Panthers and the most recent loss to the Belfast Trojans earlier in the day. Three receivers right, Minahan receives the snap. Going back to her snapper, McGovern got it, but Fonko pulls it before the first down line. Good gain, sets up second and short. Delergy sets up bottom of the screen, the only receiver on the left side. Minahan fakes the underneath route to Stewart. Wanted McGovern at the first down line. Incomplete. Third down, and the Knights still looking for their first points of the day. Minahan blows it up for Stewart. Got it complete. First down. She's going to stretch, and eventually Shore gets the flagpole. At within 20 yards to go for the Knights to get to that score line and get their first points of this game. McGovern lines up as Delergy had to be told to back up. Fake the throw left, go to the right. Quick pull from Emily Houston, stops the gain. So it's second down as UCD willing to give up the underneath route. It's Fonko and Houston, the 2 in the end zone, and Shore, Mejia, Acton, left to right across the screen, and left to right across the offensive formation. 2 receivers set up left, 1 sets up to the right for this third down play. Knights go underneath, and they try a double pass. It goes incomplete. Stewart could not complete it to Halligan. Now it's fourth down. My count was right initially. I doubted myself at first. So 2 receivers right on this windy day in County Armagh. Minahan steps up to the line of scrimmage, goes over the top. Interception by Shore! Shore running all the way back, and she's got her flag pulled. And it's 2 flags coming down on the play. So flags are going to come after the interception, so UCD gets the ball anyway. It was a 4th down interception. We'll see what the march off is. Penalty was against UCD following the interception, so they will march the yardage back from the end of the play, which results in a more positive field position than they would be if they just batted down the ball. Falco will come off. Grace Mejia will come on as a receiver. As UCD is now up 34-0, chance to get Acton and Mejia some offensive reps. Smith receives the snap, going to Acton and Veal, and some confusion results in an incomplete pass as neither woman was looking for it. Veal over the ball, Acton out left. Mejia down to the right with Shore in the slot. Going back to Shore, got it complete. First down UCD. Shore making a lot of key catches for UCD in this game. Her most recent one sets up first down inside of Belfast territory. This is UCD's 3rd drive of the half. Both drives of this half have gone for a touchdown plus a 1-point conversion. And the 2-minute warning has been announced. Running clock because of the lead. So all 3 receivers set up to the right for UCD. Smith lines up, has a fake pitch behind, and it's too far for Acton and Shore. Incomplete pass.
You gotta get up for that one, Evan.
All from UCD's coaches on the sideline is that the pass was going for Acton. Acton studying medicine at UCD. This is the end of her first year. Slow developing play here for Smith. Gets it over to Mejia, incomplete. 3rd down after 2 straight incompletions. Quick play call comes in, and it's the final minute of the game. UCD result in hand, trying to keep keep pace with point differential here. High snap for Smith, she fields it, back to Veal, Veal comes through, she's got both flags on, eventually pulled at about the 12 or the 11-yard line. 4th down chance here for UCD. All receivers right, Belfast defending the goal line. Smith steps up to the line of scrimmage, looks over her options, looking for Shore, incomplete. First failed drive of the half comes right at the very end, and that is your ball game. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Belfast. The Knights failed to get any points on the board as UCD makes up for their deficit from the earlier game, winning 34-0. Thank all of you again for watching us today. My name is Max Walpuff, and on behalf of UCD American Football, this has been a presentation of Claddagh League Week 2 action. UCD goes 1-1 to finish week 3-2. Thank you for watching. We'll be back for UCD American Football's next game against the South Dublin Panthers.